All right, we should be good to go now. Okay, live, no drop frames, looks good. Oh, I don't even think I have it public. There we go. All right, now let's see if it shows. There it is. Let's see if it shows. There it is. Good. Okay. Alrighty, should be good to go now. Let's see what we're working with. It's been a pretty crazy week. Definitely could have capitalized on it a bit more, but you know, that's all right. That's how it goes. These dead cat bounces are always a little bit tough to hit right. Problem is, things still look questionable from the long-term perspective, but you know, that's how it felt. That's how it felt in here too. I know everyone's kind of referencing 2019, but you know, this is exactly what it feels like right now. It feels like if you buy in right now, it's gonna nuke. And if you wait for that 18K, 19K pullback, it's either just gonna keep ripping, or it's gonna nuke to 18, 19K. We're all gonna load up, and then it's gonna keep nuking. And that's exactly how it felt like in 2019. I mean, I just remember it so clearly. You know, we had this gigantic candle, and I'm sure anyone who's gonna be watching the stream probably was here for this, but you know, you had this massive candle, and then, you know, at this point the consensus was, all right, you know, we just play it safe. We're all gonna buy this retest of 4K. And then you didn't even get a pullback. You pulled back to the daily 8, and that's about it. You pulled back a little bit lower here to like the 21, and that was that. By the time you got a nice deep pullback like this, that was it. You know, it was toast. So that's exactly how it feels right now. Like, it feels like if you start to buy in here, it's just gonna mean revert and start making lower highs again. Because, you know, typical bear market, buying into resistance, not a good move. You know, people down here are probably starting to take profits. But at the same time, you know, it feels like if you don't buy in, it's just going to keep ripping. So best thing you can really just do here, and really the only thing you can do, is just be patient. You know, either you get the retest or you don't. If you start closing above here, you know, you can look for some trend continuation plays on the lower time frames. But other than that, you know, you pretty much just got to sit on your hands. And, you know, keep in mind that, you know, just speaking for myself at least, I mean, these moves always hurt to miss. Like, No, they really do, because nobody want anything like this. Nobody wants to miss the bottom, right? You know, because people feel stupid buying here at 20K when they could have bought at 17K, you know, a week ago. But at the same time, don't want to recognize that 70K was the peak. 20K is still a good buy. But missing that really sucks. But for me, 90% of the money, 90% of the most money I ever made was like here in this time period. You know, here, 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 right? It was not ever here, here, right? You know, it's not going to be there. The meat is what gets you the money, you know? And on top of that, though, what really gets you the money is not losing it all at the bottoms. And, you know, there's about 30% cope here, right? Like partially coping for missing a gigantic move like this. But in reality, you know, it's not my strong suit trying to snipe bottoms, right? So now that we got a nice trend going, you know, I'm happy to try and take some with trend plays here, you know, if we get some better dips on the daily. But, you know, for now, you just got to be patient. And that's why I never go flat on crypto either. You know, I got some shit coins, you know, they're not doing the best, right? Like, you know, Fund is up like 2x this year. XCal is technically up like 2x, but I don't really feel that great because it got so fucking hammered. But like, you know, that's like still made some money the past couple weeks. But you know, this is just a absolutely crazy move. And then, you know, we're seeing some other ones like you know, Lido's going up 2x. APT is probably one of the craziest, up from $3 to $9 in like 2 weeks. What's the other? OP Optimism's almost pretty much at new highs. I mean, that's kind of hard to believe, but it's up from 80 cents to $1.80. So, you know, pretty much the same performance across the alts I'm holding. So, you know, it's not really like that big a deal missing out on this, but it definitely, it hurts mentally for sure. Because you go log in on Twitter, right? Everyone's making bank. I mean, I got some homies talking about they only made, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, oh, you only made hundreds of thousands of dollars on this. Like, you know, tragic. And when you're reading stuff like that, it's easy to get in your head, but just stick with the plan, stick with what you know. So let's talk about what we know, okay? On the monthly, the cycle is finally coming back up. It's been a long, long journey since this flat line in 2021. And you just knew, you know, you just knew at this point when it's starting to flatline and you're watching it still go straight up, you just knew at some point this shit is going to crumble. And that's exactly what happened, right? And then we had the little complacency bounce or whatever, and it's been toast ever since then. But now we finally got some momentum building up on this stochastic. Momentum also is getting really close to an uptick, right? We're about 2 points away, and I'm not exactly 100% sure on the calculation of this, but I believe that this can become, even though it's like already a negative tick, it can become an uptick by the end of the month if we keep seeing strong upwards momentum. So we could get it all this month, right? We could get a close back above the daily 8, or the monthly 8, sorry. We could get the up cycle on the stochastic and an uptick on the momentum indicator. And at that point, you know, I'm pretty much full bull. The last thing you'd really like to see, you know, is just a general higher high on the monthly, right? Which would be back above like 25K. But most important things for me always been the cycle, get the momentum right, the candle setup, and trending above the monthly 8. And at that point, I'm going balls to the wall, buying dips again. You know, we can talk about macro and this or that, but if I get the technical stuff I'm looking for, I don't really care all that much. You know, I'm just going to trade what happens, you know. And if we start trending back below the monthly 8 again, if the dollar starts ripping, stocks crumble, whatever, then, you know, it is what it is, right? And then you hop out and you reevaluate. But for now, you know, it's starting to shape up pretty nicely. So we really want to see if we can get, we got about 2 weeks, if we can get a close above like 22K. If we can close above this region, things are going to start to be looking really good for the long term again. I mean, we could have I'm not necessarily saying we're going to get, a full cycle. Like, I think it's kind of rare to get this hard cycle all the way up, hard cycle all the way down, right back up. Typically, you get something like this, or like here we rolled over around 70 for the first time off the bottom. So we might not get a year-long run up here. It might go up into like June or May. Maybe we run up into the summer. Maybe we get a longer one all the way throughout the year, but I'm not so hopeful of that. I think, and we'll talk about this more once I get to like the daily, I think it's just going to be a lot more chop, chop, chop. I would expect, sure, we can keep going up this week, but I would expect a few weeks, maybe even a month plus of chop after this, because there's people like me that are they're coming in, they're seeing this volatility, they missed a lot of the move, and they're going to want to hop in. They're going to want to hop in soon. They're going to want to hop in today, tomorrow, later this week, hoping that the upside is because, right, what's happened the last week? Every day it's gone up like, all right, well, we're going to get that pullback soon, and it just doesn't. So the moment you get one little pullback, people are going to start flooding in. And if it happens to end up being something like this, it's just going to, before inevitably probably going back up, I mean, that month-long period is going to really mess with people. So I would not personally expect this to just rip straight up. But, if it happens, it happens. I'm going to be buying the dips regardless. I already started the nibble here on this 1 hour dip. But, we can talk about that more. I don't want to get too ahead of myself here. Anyways, monthly is starting to shape up pretty nicely. We're still trending below the 8, and the 8's still coming down. So ideally, not only would we like to get back above that, but we want to see it start to trend up, right? When the 8 is trending up, that's going to be where you want to be trading heavily. When it's going sideways, it's not ideal. When it's going down, you definitely don't want to be on the long side. But when it starts to go up and price is hovering and floating above it, that's when you really want to be hammering it, okay? And so just based off the monthly 8, should not be hammering it since the start of 2022. Simple as that. And right now, we're definitely getting close to it again, but it is still coming down. It's starting to flatten out, but we're just not quite there yet. Things look good, but this could still, I know people don't want to hear it, this could still just turn into a dead cat bounce, and we could just make another lower high. This is definitely still like the trend, like this, right? And so we could still make a lower high in here and roll over. At the moment, I'm not really sure, which way I'm leaning, whether I think this is a big change in trend or whether I think this is just, a big fake out. I'm really not sure. I'm just trying to focus on the technicals as much as I can, try and put my emotions aside. But let's go ahead into the weekly here. Hey, what's up, Plaza? Thanks for tuning in, homie. So going into the weekly, we've got this really nice trend right now. We're trending above the 8, which is back down near 18K. So I think mid-low 18Ks are probably worth a bid. Even if we're just gonna do something like this and make a lower high, right? This could be a pretty nice bounce just from like the daily bands in here up. And then, we can play it cautious too, right? Let's say we were to top out here, right? And then you bottomed out at like, I don't know, let's just say 18K for the sake of it. So, you're waiting for a dip, blah, blah, blah. You finally get it, ape in, right? And then you get a bounce up to the 50% level, TP, TP, TP. And then you just trail out the rest of it, right? You'll have a little 1 hour, 4 hour trend in here, something like this, right? And if that starts to crumble, you just cut it, right? And then you don't think twice about it. And then if this trend, right, the new trend that got you out, if that breaks back into an uptrend, you can hop back in, right? Simple as that. So I think that's a pretty fine trade. It's also possible we just catch this 8 on the way up. Ideally, it'd be nice to get a bid down in the 18K region, but at the same time, that could start to look really bad, from a lower high standpoint. But we'll see. I think the hardest thing to catch will be if this just turns into like a BCI and we just rip straight up. That's going to be hard to catch. That's why I'm already in on this 1 hour trade. Pretty small risk. If it gets stopped, whatever, you know, can try again back down here. But those are always the hardest ones to catch. Let me see if I can find a good example. Yeah, like in here, right? You get this crazy move up, you know, 40K to almost 60K, and then you get a candle like this, and you're thinking, finally, you know, we can get back to like mid 40s, or even this, right? Not only do you get a bad candle, you get a topping tail that runs the highs, SFP or whatever, but then it just keeps going, right? And then it does it again and again. Those are the hardest, and by the time you really feel like you're getting a good dip, you know, you're probably getting scammed, right? It's probably the top. And that's exactly how it feels to me this time, right? It feels like if we get a good dip here, it's a scam, or at least a temporary scam. You know, we get this dip, this perfect setup, right? Feel like it's a scam. Feelings aside, you know, still might trade it around, but, you know, I feel like either we're going to do something like this, or we're going to come all the way back to like mid 18Ks. I feel like this is just a rough level in here. This is the ideal place to bid at this rising 8, but I feel like it's just going to scam, you know, some stupid candle like this. I mean, obviously not that bad because that's FTX drama, but anyways, once again, getting ahead of myself. Weekly does not look too great. I would definitely like to see a close above 21.5K and then see if we can catch this weekly 8 on the way up. Momentum starting to look decent. You know, we had that big kind of divergence going into the lows here, but I'd like to see an uptrend back above the 0 mark. You know, again, everyone wants to hit the bottoms. I get it, but the meat of the move where most of the money is made is on the bull trend side, right? The bull trend is when we got momentum above 0, right? You know, these are the more safer times to trade. Right now, we've got a good bounce, but we're still very much negative. As far as momentum goes, still very early in our monthly signals. Don't have the momentum lining up yet. We're not trending above the 8. So, you know, it's just a tough spot, right? All we can do is wait and see if we get a good dip to bid. And if we push up, you know, into 24 to 27K up by the weekly bands, maybe we can try some shorts again. I shorted a little bit on the way up here in like the mid 17s, but, you know, I've been sitting on my hands since then. The only thing I've got on the plate is I got a little bit of Doge left. Hasn't really done that. I expected a bit more. I expected if we get a move like this on Bitcoin to be sitting around 10 cents. But still kind of just waiting on that. I got the Unifund bag, Xcal bag. I got a few other little bags, you know, like Amplify and stuff. And then I've got, you know, various different longer term investments. But, you know, in the near term, all we can do is just wait for this kind of dip. And then if you're feeling risky, you know, we can try and long some of these little 1 hour, these little 1 hour plays. What's good, homie? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, not too much. Feeling a little bit salty about missing out this week, but you know, it's all right. It's really not that deep. So hopefully you guys made out better than I did. But anyways, going on to the daily, this cycle and momentum do worry me a little bit. I mean, the momentum is absolutely enormous. I mean, when was the last time we almost hit a 400 on daily momentum? What, post-COVID? Right? Like right in here? I mean, that's the only other time. I mean, goodness gracious. The only other times we've ever hit this kind of momentum peak on the daily was post-COVID, right before a big run. That big 29. This is where everyone hopes it is. Big 2019 liftoff. The halving pump in 2016. And that's it. I mean, nowhere even in that previous run did we ever hit this kind of momentum. And it's kind of like, does it matter? You know, is this something that we really want to put a lot of thought into? Like, oh, you know, Bitcoin's only hit this momentum 3 times in history. It's like one of those kind of like catch statistics. Doesn't really mean anything. But there's a lot of momentum here and clearly a lot of interest. And every step of the way up, people are shorting the shit out of this and getting blown out. I mean, there have been mad amount of liquidations. The open interest has been just completely wiped on shorts. So, I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm curious what you guys think. I mean, I got a very 50-50 read right now. I mean, obviously, we'll continue trading this trend as long as it remains, but Gosh, that's what the bear market does to you. That's what this kind of market does to you. It makes you think that any nice, like, half decent pump is just a complete scam, because it might be. But yeah, this daily cycle worries me a little bit. The only issue is like we saw in the monthly, having a stochastic that's overbought or oversold. It's not really that good on its own, right? Like, look back here. The first time we get overbought or whatever in 2017 is here at $1,000 before the run to 20K. And then back here we get oversold at 10K before the run to 70K on the monthly. So you can get overbought, and stay that way for a while. So we can be overbought here on the daily, and we could still be overbought and be at 30K, But at some point, you're going to get that better dip, right? You're going to get a dip down here. And like I said, it might not be the dip you're thinking about. It might not be this dip, right? It might be this dip. But regardless, there will be a good, safe setup versus right now, it's kind of just a gamble, right? Especially if you're taking like a swing trade on the daily or the weekly, right? The only kind of trades really out there right now are like these little 1 hour, 4 hour dips. Okay, so it's really just going to be up to you in the moment, right? For me in the moment, I was feeling capital preservation, right? I was not feeling confident in the trades I was looking at. So I simply sat, missed a lot of them, but it is what it is, right? And so now, honestly, right, it's kind of just gone straight parabolic. I mean, at this point, I'm in a little small trade, something like this, right? Because the same way we're looking on the monthly and the weekly to hold the 8, it's the same thing on the 4 hour. I mean, look, we have not had a good dip below this 8 EMA pretty much all the way up. And I feel like, I don't know, it feels like max pain might still be to just keep going up. Now, I wouldn't be risking the whole house or anything on this, right? You definitely want to save, the bulk for if we get a better dip like this. Down to mid 18Ks. We got a lot of EMA support on the daily. We got this old level in here. I'm definitely saving my risk for that, but, I had to punt a little small trade here just in case we get some more bullshit, something like this, right? I think this will still lead to, 22.5, something like that. We got a lot to think about here, But what about you guys? What you guys been doing? You guys catch anything? I mean, there's been some pretty good alt trades. I'm also seeing this like mindset again. People coming out like Bitcoin maximalists, right? Like, oh, look at the king. The king is back. Altcoins getting shredded because they look at, where is it? They look at like ETH BTC. I know I have it somewhere. There we go. Like ETH BTC looks kind of bad in the last week. But if you look at your average altcoin, I mean, what, Bitcoin's up 25%? I mean, if I go down the list here, I'm sure everything here is up more than that. Like even the stuff that's not even really relevant anymore. Like, what's something super irrelevant? Like Harmony, right? There's like no activity going on here. It's up 70%. Spell. Does Spell really even exist anymore? And it's up 60% this year. So it's always odd to me, these people coming out of the works talking about Bitcoin only rally. Like I get it. I remember it happening in like 2017 where only Bitcoin ran for a few months and altcoins got shredded, but I have not seen anything like that since. I mean, even Ethereum, ETH BTC might look bad, but it's still up more than Bitcoin this year. So I don't get what I don't know. I just don't get what all the noise is about how you got to trade Bitcoin, not altcoins. I mean, like even the garbage I got. I think, in my opinion, Excalibur is one of the worst things to be in right now. Like, this is just trash. There's no liquidity. There's no interest. But even this garbage, I mean, flatlined at the end of the year, and now it's up 70%. Like, even this garbage is up 2-3x what Bitcoin's up. So it's just, I don't know. It's always odd to me to see those people come out in the works making comments like that. But anyways, trades I'm looking at right now. So like I said, this 1 hour consolidation, I think there's, I don't know. a 60-40 chance maybe that this breaks up, or you know, something like this maybe even, right? But ideally we can get something on the 4 hour a little bit better than that. Ideally we can get back down to like the 18s would be really nice. You know, this we basically just pit stopped here for a moment and ran right through, so it'd be really nice to come back and retest that. You know, definitely comparing to what happened back in 2019. You know, everyone was looking for a super big pullback on the daily, but all we ended up getting was this pullback on the 4 hour back to the bands. So that's pretty much what I'm looking for. And then whatever level we get there is going to be a big level for me, right? You do not want to see that get wiped out. Okay. So right now that would be right around 18.5K. For me, that's the big level, right? If we start to lose 18.5, it's over. You know, we're going back to 17, right? And then 17 is the big level. If we can't even at least maintain this kind of trend of higher lows, I mean, this shit is toast. But, you know, that's a lot of room, right? That's a lot of room. We could hold here. We could do that little shit I was talking about here where you tumble and recover right there. We could hold into the 4 hour bands. We could hold at the daily bands. You know, that's a lot of opportunities for Bitcoin to show that it has some strength, right? Because stocks have had a fair bit of strength. I mean, you know, we missed basically all of this rally from November through December because of FTX and all that drama. And now stocks are basically back at the peaks of that push. Bitcoin's not, right? Like Bitcoin definitely still got some room to grow until it's back at the peaks from November. Actually, well, not that much, but you know, it definitely feels like Bitcoin would be a lot higher if the FTX shit had never happened. And now that it's starting to kind of get pushed through, we're getting that action again. I mean, shit, I think even FTX is pumping up. I mean, look at that. Even FTX is 2x off the bottom. What's some other Sam coins? Serum. Oh my gosh. Serum's up 300% this year. What even is Serum? Isn't that like a DEX? Solana's up 2.5x. I mean, shoot, it kind of feels like the whole FTX drama just kind of is gone. Like, what else was happening? It wasn't even just FTX. Wasn't the Barry? Wasn't Barry like? Isn't Barry Silbert insolvent too? With all the, I can't remember what his firm is, DCG or some shit like that. But this is all happening in the middle of that, right? That's got to be a good sign, if you ask me. Or it's just one big exit pump. But anyways, I've given a lot of speculation. At some point, you know, you just got to trust your gut. And so I'm going to hop in a little dip here. If it works, great. If not, you know, no big deal. We'll try and catch the 8 on the way up. And we'll try and catch the bands on the way up. And those are really the only trades for me. Unless we push up, you know, if we get a harsh rejection up here at 25, up near pi on the daily, or on the week, on the daily, I'd consider a short. That's the only level I'd consider a short, right? Especially now that we've closed back above the 200. I mean, we ain't been above the 200 since 2021, right? And that was a big shift. Again, back in 2019, that was a big shift. But we did get a pretty harsh rejection right off pi. That's the only level I'm willing to short right now. Other than that, you know, I shorted a little back here, sure, whatever. But this is no man's land for shorts, if you ask me. So I'm willing to catch the dips, but I ain't going to be shorting unless we go a lot higher, right? I'm happy just to sit on my hands, keep accumulating cash as best I can, and then wait for a better trend. I mean, as hype as this is, right, let's keep in mind we got a lot of work to do. Yeah. And then as far as the degen side of things, I've not really seen too much catching my eye lately. I know everyone's still hyped for this Arbitrum airdrop, right? I don't know if they said anything about when it would be. I'm sure they're trying to keep it super tight wraps and all that, but definitely majority of my interest in altcoins is in the Arbitrum ecosystem. I've still got some GMX that's being staked. Like I said, XCal's Arbitrum, but I mean, I kind of consider XCal dead. So I don't really consider that Arbitrum exposure, but trading that around and trading Plutus around last year and a bunch of other stuff, Arbitrum, I mean, I don't know how they're going to do it, but Arbitrum trading volume looking pretty nice on my end. So, you know, who wants to take bets on how they do it? I don't know how they're going to do it, but I hope they do it based off volume or transaction count or length of time involved or something like that, because I've been in Arbitrum for a minute. Dopex, RDPX, those are some good trades too. But yeah, new stuff. I mean, there was one my buddy mentioned to me the other day. What was it? Anyone heard of Hamachi Finance? I think. Let me see if they. I wonder if they rugged already. Let me check it out. See if they rugged. I miss the days where going through CoinGecko felt viable. Oh no, maybe this is legit. Anyone heard of Hamachi Finance? Looks interesting. New Arbitrum project. Yeah, it looks alright. I don't know. It's just so hard to pique my interest right now. Like, I'm waiting for something that gives me that $10 million market cap Woo trade vibe, you know, something that really makes me want to actually ape in money. Right now, I just don't get that feeling from anything other than, you know, the short-term trends that we're seeing. I mean, what really is offering a dirt cheap valuation on an asset, a chain that actually does something interesting? I mean, I'm just not seeing it. I don't know. I will say though, it has been hard to catch a darn Woo trade dip. I mean, my goodness, it's been the same with Lido. I've been trying to catch a Lido dip and a Woo trade dip for like a week or two now, and it has just been chatting straight up. Probably shouldn't look at Huobi. I think there's some volume discrepancies, but the volume increase over here was batshit on Woo perps. I mean, you know, just like we had some moments like this already. You know, over here, some crazy looking volume days, but this just fully eclipsed anything we've seen like that. Oh, that's right. They burned like 25% of the supply. I think this was a fantastic decision from them. Like the monthly burns was a cool idea, but in practice it just wasn't that great because they were doing it throughout the month slowly, the buyback and burn or whatever. So it wasn't really helping price that much, and it was, I don't even think it was countering emissions, but just coming out there and burning whatever it was, hundreds of millions of tokens. That was a Chad decision from the team, and I'm really glad they did that. I think that's going to help a lot. Look at this, 780 million Woo coins traded. That is absolutely nuts, dude. I mean, even back in like the parabolic days, I mean, it was nothing like that. I mean, how much? What's the highest one on Huobi? 60 million coins traded back here after a like 20x run, and that was crazy volume. And now we've got almost 800 million coins being traded. I mean, that's absolutely crazy. I'm still banking on this being one of the best runners. Maybe not necessarily this year, but definitely going into next year. I think we're going to be seeing that $1 to $2 Woo again. So my game plan for this is kind of praying for a rejection into the mid 20 cent range. And just like BTC, maybe we can catch this 8 on the way up. But there were a lot of projects that did this number in 2018, 2019, and they spent a long time in their ranges. What's a good one? Like Lin. You know, Lin became Ave for the uncultured out there. I guess it's Ave. No, what am I doing? right? Like they spent a lot of time down here. I mean, pretty much better part of 2 years until the big liftoff. So, as nice as it would be to just, have something like this play out, um, I'm not so sure, right? And I know my business partner Basil, he kind of feels the same way, that this whole recession madness is not over with. And I'm not so big of a macro guy, I'm not that in tune with the traditional market side of things, but I definitely trust his opinion. So I could totally see us at some point later this year running the lows again on all this garbage. Just like what happened with the COVID run. I don't think it'll be a black swan style event like COVID was, but I think at some point people are going to get too euphoric and stocks are going to come crumbling back down again. But for now we'll see. I mean, it's definitely tricky, right? Because whether you believe that the market just follows the stock market or not, there is definitely a clear correlation. And bear market rallies can rally a lot harder than we think. You can have a full-on 50% retrace in stocks and still make a move lower. And I'm sure that's what my business partner is thinking. Again, I'm not so in tune with it that I can really make too much of a comment on it. I'm really just not sure. I'm happy to keep trading crypto on the long side as long as things look good here. But if this near-term trend in stocks gets cracked, this trend or whatever, if we start to lose these lows and you notice the same trend is happening in crypto, just get out of the way, right? If the dollar starts to revert back up, just get out of the way, right? It's still a bear market until it's not, right? And for now, we are still trending very dangerously in the southern hemisphere, right? We get this concept of the southern hemisphere, right, when we're talking about moving averages and all that. When we're trending below our longer period moving averages, we're in the southern hemisphere. When we're trending above them, we're in the northern hemisphere. We can be a lot more confident taking trades on the long side than down here, right? Up here, you don't really got to worry as much about a dead cat bounce, So if we can just focus the majority of our aggressive trades, it's okay to be putting trades on during these more risky times too. But, getting aggressive with it, 2% a trade on multiple trades, like, I think that's just best left for these kind of periods in the market. And right now, we're still on the south side of that, right? So don't let Twitter get to you. I know you go on Twitter and social media, everyone is winning. No one has taken a losing trade in their life, let alone this last week. Everyone's been in since the lows. Nobody is TP'd until it's over, right? Like, and that 2% dip yesterday, that's right. Everyone caught it. Not you, not me, but everyone else caught it. So when you're seeing things like this in your feed, don't let it get to your head. Okay? I don't think I have too much more to say on BTC. The game plan is honestly quite simple. We either can catch this 8 EMA hold here on the 4-hour, we either catch the bands, or at the worst case would be trying to catch 17K. But, even if we start getting down to these levels, you got to be cautious of the lower high play. As nice as it would be to just do this number, right? We also got to be cautious for the lower high play as long as we're on that southern hemisphere. Alrighty, let's I'm gonna comb through some of the majors here real quick, see what starts to look good. See if we got anything trending above the 8 on the monthly. I mean, I guess that counts. It's not really existed long enough. BNB. No, I don't like that. Don't like that. Oh yeah, there was one my buddy was looking at the other day. Hook? Anyone know anything about Hook? Where is it? Is it not Hook? Hook protocol? Maybe it's on here. There it is. This might be one to keep your eyes on. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that. I hope that wasn't retardedly loud. That's my alarm for when I stream at 4, but I had to do it a little earlier today. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what this is necessarily, but my buddy Toons was talking about it back down here. Honestly, guy nailed the bottom. Big ups to him. But I think, this is one of the only coins in the market with a pretty good intermediate term uptrend, right? Without, a billion looming bag holders. It's always kind of a gamble to bet on charts that are like this because, it doesn't have this overwhelming resistance above it, mainly because it has not existed long enough to have that. So you're kind of just gambling, on how many people actually bought here are going to be trying to get out now and all that stuff. But, in my opinion, this is probably going to be worth the bid. Again, do your own research. I don't even know what this is yet. But, if we can get a run back towards $1.50, you've got pretty good risk reward on a move back to that level up here. What, at $3 or something? You're looking at 7 to 8 times your risk, even just to these local highs right here. Good 2 to 3. 2. Yeah, it's mid. So that's on the top of my list, up there with Lido, right? One of the best trending coins in the market lately. I mean, APT's up there too, I guess, but all the ones that are like tied in with Sam, I'm kind of, 50-50 on the market as a whole, but these ones I'm completely 50-50, like longing FTX here. It's either free money and that shit just mean reverts all the way back up, or, it's the final exit scam, and lenders or whatever are going to be dumping on us, whatever kind of shit there is. But, so this one's up there, but it's riskier. I think Lido is kind of a better bet on dips. Hook seems pretty good. BNB I'm kind of iffy about, but it's got a good near-term trend. I mean, Luna stuff, if you're really feeling like gambling, not really my style. Matic starting to look decent. One of the only coins trending above the 8 now on the monthly. Kind of trying to make a weekly higher high. Maybe we set some alerts on Matic. One of the few coins trying to break back into the northern hemisphere on the daily. Let me set some alerts here. This could be interesting. Something like mid-80s. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's see what else we got. Again, we don't just want to be trending above the 8 on the monthly. We want the 8 to be starting to come back up, right? That's a big thing because we don't just want to get above it. We want it to act as near-term support. So let's see. Anything else? I mean, OP, of course. Set some alerts back at like $1.20-ish. $1.25, $1.10, something like that. Again, I can't remember if this one's involved with the whole FTX drama or not, but you can't deny the strength. So, I guess we'll watch it on dips. Solana, no. SNX, no. Spell, no. Sushi, swap. Nothing else here. I used to have a big list of stuff, but like Lido, I mean, it's kind of BS because there's barely even an 8 EMA on the monthly, but the monthly 8 is coming up and we're trending above it. That's what we want to see. We want to see that, and we want to see dips back towards that hold. Problem is, I'm not really following interesting projects on exchanges. I just don't see that much. Woo is right at the monthly 8. So, if we can clear that and retest it from the upside, maybe things start to look pretty good again for Woo. Why'd I switch from Twitch? I don't know. My partner recommended it, and I feel like everybody watches YouTube. Everyone's already got a YouTube account. Not everyone is a Twitch watcher, though. Like, I feel like a lot of people watch Twitch are like, gamers, people that watch video games and video game streamers and stuff. People that watch streamers. Not everyone that goes to YouTube is going there to watch a streamer. They're just going there to watch YouTube, right? So I figured like the exposure on YouTube It's probably better. And I don't really care about having, 20, 30, 50, 100 plus viewers, but I definitely would like everyone that cares to see this kind of analysis and information to be able to see it. And I feel like the guys that wanted to see it on Twitch, they're going to be watching it. I've been doing it on Twitch for years. Like, if they want to watch me, they're already in with it. But, the YouTube guys, I got to start advertising to them a little bit, And more than that, I want people to tune in and comment too. I know the switch from Twitch to this has kind of dried up the commentary just a tad, and then it's bear market, blah, blah, blah. But I think in time, YouTube is going to be a better platform to be on. I mean, ideally, I could stream it on both of them. I know there's some apps that let you stream across all of them at the same time, but for now, I'm just going to stick with YouTube. Don't really care about specific numbers, but I'd like people that, don't watch Twitch, but might maybe care to watch the stream to, have an opportunity, So, that's fine. And yeah, YouTube VOD's better than Twitch VODs all day, dude. All day. All right. You guys got anything interesting on? Ooh, Doge. Doge kind of looks interesting. Definitely watch Doge for if we get back above the monthly 8 because, and this is a good note. This is a good note. Getting above the monthly 8 is not the end all be all, right? You got to get above it and stay above it and actually start to form a trend. Just blowing above it, oops, and then blowing right back below. It's it's kind of meaningless. But like let's zoom in on what's going on with Doge here, right? You had this big trend changing move, okay, and now we're kind of just back in the range again. But if we can start to escape this little downtrend that we're kind of sitting in here, if we can form a new uptrend here, this shit could blow up hard because, one close above the 8, solid. Monthly cycles back up, solid. Close back below it, ooh, not so good. Intermediate term downtrend, whatever. But if we get some traction again above it after we already confirmed above it once, for me, that looks extremely good, and I think you can be, getting pretty aggressive on Doge and related coins and stuff like that. I'm trying to think. What have people been talking about? What happened to Bonk, dude? Everyone was talking about that for like 3 days. Ooh, I mean, okay. What happened there? I mean, this could get kind of interesting on Doge. This kind of looks like, or on Bonk. This looks like 6K BTC back in 2018, right? And we ripped back up, and everyone said we were gonna fail at 6K. We went to 12K. Unfortunately, I'll almost certainly never buy this because I don't know, not my style. Let's see what else. What else do we got? I've seen a lot of people talking about Fraxies or whatever, or Frax. Where's that? That's looking pretty good. Right back at the 8 on the monthly. Yeah, probably not long in here. So another tactic I really like. Most of these tests of this 8 EMA are like a big bullish engulfing. If you go look at these charts, well, of course that one's not, but it's like a giant candle that engulfs the previous bearish one on pretty much all these charts, right? I mean, obviously some coins are shittier than others. Link is garbage, so it didn't make it all the way back up there, but stuff like this, or the biggest contender obviously is just Bitcoin, right? This is what most charts look like. So we get a candle like this. My favorite level to bid is the top of the candle that's been getting engulfed. So right now, this one, which again is kind of a big level for me, around 18.5K. Okay, it's the same level from back here. I would wager it's probably a key fib level, right at the 50% fib level of this retrace. Probably a key EMA level, right in the middle of the daily bands. This is a big zone, okay? So, my honest opinion, I think either we hold right here and do some more stupid shit, or I think we crumble all the way back down here. I don't personally think we're going to stop somewhere in the middle, right? I think it's just going to be one way or the other. So, best bet would be somewhere down here. And like I said earlier, it'd be nice if that will lead to continuation. But even if it's just for a lower high bounce, I mean, that will be, there will be some good trades. There's going to be some good 20, 30, 40% gains on altcoins, just like we saw the last week. So that'd be a good dip to be in on. And of course, it could still lead to trend continuation, but, even if it's just to a lower high, that'd be a good one. And maybe, we'll see how it reacts at the 4-hour bands, right? That's the other level that I would be willing to take some trades. But I would definitely say I'm leaning mostly 50-50 on either we hold right here or we're going back deep. And that's how it is for most stuff right now. But yeah, I mean, any kind of asset like you're looking to get into, like WooTrade, right? Go check out the monthly, go check out the engulfing. Top of that range is around 15 cents, 14, 15. That'd be the level I would be looking to bid, right? And again, we're seeing that's right in the middle of the daily bands too. And I know it's feeling very FOMO-y right now, but there's been tons of cases where it mean reverts, right? Oh, FET. Is that Fetch AI? That was a big one back in the day. Oh, shit. But altcoins are dead. Bitcoin is king. Look at this shit. Some random coin up 200% in a week or two. That being said, I mean, this one definitely got hammered by the bear market. $1.20. 20. I mean, it's pretty much like WooTrade. Not gonna lie. I mean, I'm gonna level with you. I ain't got a clue what this does, but I will say, technically, this looks pretty damn good. I mean, huge volume coming in. It tested the monthly 8, and now it's getting back above it. That 8 is starting to rise up. So, the weekly's a little bit iffy. I mean, you're kind of testing the underside of all this liquidity in here, right? If you can get a significant close above there, you can also see it doesn't quite really exist, but this 200 period moving average is right here, and the bands are also right in here. So a tricky area to be getting long right now, but absolutely on dips. I mean, you're starting to get back in the northern hemisphere on this one. So, watching like 10 to 15 cents, I think that's worth the buy. Again, I don't know if this is, I assume this is just rallying because it's, it's solid, but if it's just rallying because of some specific catalyst or event, then I'd be careful, right? Unless they have more of that stuff coming. Elon tweet coming for Doge, I wouldn't be surprised, dude. I've never seen a man fear the SEC so little. I mean, that guy just does whatever he wants. Let me go through some of my old ones. I had like a few old lists in here. The money majors. This is a good one. Let's look at Litecoin just for shits and giggles. Okay, so Litecoin's kind of mid. I mean, still more than Bitcoin though. Still up more this year than Bitcoin. For all the altcoin haters. Is this one above the 8 on the monthly? This one is. Litecoin's above the 8 on the monthly. How? How is Litecoin? Well, I mean, that is kind of how it goes, though. Litecoin does tend to front run the market. And this is a good example of what I was talking about, too, where you get back above the 8, and then you bid the engulfed candle. And this one was the one that got engulfed. Bid that. Load up. And now you can take some with trend trades as well at this monthly 8, which is right around 77. Right, so dips back on the daily towards mid 70s, probably worth a bid on Litecoin. Keep it simple. So what do we have so far? We have Litecoin, we have Hook, technically APT. We've got Fetch, all trending above the 8. Ooh, what about XMR? Hasn't that been doing pretty good? That's another one that kind of front runs sometimes. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow, this looks pretty good this week. I actually have like a long-term bag of this somewhere. Damn, man, this is actually looking pretty nice. Yeah, we're going to have to watch XMR Dips back to like 160. Yeah, 160, 165. See, it's one of these candles though. It's a candle that says don't buy because this is a textbook reversal or whatever. Then you go look at the same candle though. You go look at the same candle over here and it means nothing. Like don't buy. Don't buy me, right? I'm a bad candle. And then it just rips. That's kind of what XMR feels like right now. I bet this shit just keeps going. But yeah, good tech. Good tech. I've always been super 50-50 on privacy coins. Either they're going to be the next best thing, right? The next best thing. Because who doesn't want private money? I mean, everyone wants private money. But at the same time, if the government doesn't want you to have private money, then you don't want private money. Because they're going to come for your ass hard. Which could make it the next best thing, you know? It's kind of like this weird loop where you kind of really want it if the government doesn't want you to have it, but at the same time, if they outlaw it and make it like really bad to have, you know, you kind of don't want to have it, but then you kind of do want to have it because fuck the government. Like, so I don't know. Privacy is always in a weird spot for me, but I hold a long-term bag pretty much indefinitely. The goal is to pretty much never trade it. Kind of like, you know, holding physical gold. Like, I'm not trying to sell my physical gold, you know? That's kind of how I feel about my Monero bag. And I know there's some other ones like Zcash and shit like that. But let's be honest, Zcash is trash. Hot garbage. Oh. Welcome back. You can't sleep? All right. You got 7 hours to call. I'm still streaming, by the way. All right. Yeah, I am recording this, and I'll post. Yeah, I don't know what was wrong last week. It's supposed to auto upload my VOD to YouTube, and it should do that this time. Hey, thank you, man. Same to you. Wishing you the best of year. We're gonna have a good one. Yeah, anyways, privacy coins, 50-50. Either it's gonna be the next best thing, or you are gonna have to be really careful if you own it. I'm betting on the next best thing, so I have some of that. What else we got? Ooh, I haven't looked at Tezos in a while. I'm sure it's garbage. I mean, that's crazy though. Even Tezos has a magnificent looking monthly candle. I mean, my goodness. Oh, EOS, dude. I haven't heard about that in a minute. EOS is bouncing. Oh, you know what? There's no way this is bouncing, dude. BSV. Oh, it makes me sick just thinking about it. Where was it first listed? Bittrex, maybe? Well, I'll be damned. Don't tell me BSV is up more this year than Bitcoin is. It is, dude. That's kind of a disgrace. What's the other one? Isn't there like Bitcoin ABC or something? Or is it? Wait, what am I looking at? I'm looking at SV. What's the other one? Well, I know there's Bitcoin Cash, of course, but what? I am live. I'm not on Twitch anymore. Remember, I'm on YouTube now. Yeah, because you know, people watching. I just explained it to someone asked too. Like people that are watching Twitch are watching streamers. You know, mostly video game streamers. Now there's also like, you know, all kinds of people on there, but everyone watches YouTube. Everyone has a YouTube account, so by all means, give me that extra viewer. Even Bitcoin Cash is up more than Bitcoin. That's what you tell people if you see them on Twitter talking about like, Bitcoin's the king. I told you altcoins were garbage this whole bear market. Be like, bro, Bitcoin SV and Bitcoin Cash are up more than Bitcoin this month. Your argument's dead. All right, well, this list was kind of disappointing. Let me see what else. Ooh, my old Binance list. Look at all these coins that don't exist anymore. This is half of what you're trying to get in on. Also, everything's a Bitcoin pair. It's kind of hard to believe now with how easy it is to just trade stable coins that everything was Bitcoin based. Now, here we go. I've got a good USD list. Let's look at some of this stuff. There's got to be something hidden in here that I'm not catching, right? There's got to be. I mean, I don't look at any of these coins anymore. Aeon, Acro. Damn, what the heck happened here? What the hell is that? Okay. Right, everyone's talking about like 3 coins on Twitter. Let's find the shit that they're not talking about. Ant. No way. This project's still around and looking good, dude. Getting back above the 8. No way, dude. Please have Bittrex history. Yes, dude. No. We don't have full history. Have it on Binance. Come on. I want full history. This coin's been around for like 5 years. And to be around this long and actually have a chart that looks decent is kind of impressive. I mean, I guess we'll just use the Binance chart. This is plenty of history. Yeah, that's kind of nice. It's kind of the same as that other chart I was looking at earlier, though. I don't really like just retesting this underside liquidity. But I don't know. This is sometimes a big bait too, right? Just like it was for Bitcoin. I remember it, and everyone was like, "Oh, underside liquidity," and at $6,000, and then we just plowed right through it in like 2 hours. So take it with a grain of salt, but I did see someone in one of my group chats talking about this lately, and I did not realize it was even the same project from so long ago, but this actually looks pretty good. Right? Should be getting back in the northern hemisphere. Anything that's getting above pi on the daily is something to keep your eye on, right? Especially stuff like this that kind of looks like it's lagging. Right? I mean, there's some really solid setups in here. And keep in mind, guys, we looked at Bitcoin for a while. Every altcoin we're looking at now, talking about these dips, 1000% relies on Bitcoin staying above, like, at the worst 17K. If we break 17K on BTC, every long setup we're looking at today is moot. So just, take it with a grain of salt for sure. But this looks spicy. I mean, even just testing the top of this wick, if we get a little daily dip, and this is a pretty wide stop. I mean, you could use a tight stop here too. There's some good risk reward. I'm going to have to be on my game the next couple weeks because this week has made me feel kind of lazy. My goodness. All right, let's keep going. So there's no favorites button. There's only like a category, whatever. I'm going to send them in chat. What do we have so far? We have Ant, Hook looked good, Lido, stuff to watch on dips. Low key, we'll throw Litecoin in there. Why not? XMR. I think that's a bit it for now. Let's keep looking. Ave's kind of looking good. Oh, I started back at the top. Ooh, what happened? Is this Adam? ATM? What the hell? This is not Cosmos, right? No, this is Cosmos. Okay. Weird. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not touching that. I don't know what that is. Ooh. What do we have here? What is this? Odd? Is that like... Am I retarded? Is this just Australian dollar? Oh, we're gonna have to delete that from the stream somehow. AVAX looks terrible. Axes looks bad. Band looks kind of good. Oh, BAT, dude. I forgot about Basic Attention Token. That one's for sure toast. We're not looking at that. Beam. It's kind of dead. Bluezel's dead. Bunkcore, that looks terrible. BitShare, that's definitely dead. Dead. Mega dead. That's interesting. Oh, isn't Chili's tied with FTX? I can't remember. Yeah, I don't know. That could be interesting though. Again, I like coins that get above the monthly 8 and they reclaim it. Especially when we've had like a really long cycle back down. But Dude, I've had some of my friends make killer amounts of money on Chili's, and I've literally just not traded it because it's called Chili's. But I mean, this shit was a half a cent and went to $1 in the last bull run, so might be worth keeping an eye on. CKB, that's good tech, but that looks terrible. What the fuck is this? What is this, dude? 1 month? What in the hell is this on Binance? Are y'all seeing this? 1 month, this thing went up 500,000% and peaked at 2.8 million%. What is this? What is Cocos BCX? Ooh, yeah, I would love to do. We can look at some Arbitrum stuff. I haven't looked at Plutus in a minute. I do like the project. I don't know how I feel about the pumpability of the token, but I do like the black hole that is Plutus. That's a little tricky. I mean, there's nothing that really screams to me that this trend is not continuing. I mean, if it becomes Arbitrum season, you know, or whatever, like Arbitrum airdrop and stuff like that, if dopex continues to lift off, you know, maybe you get a better move up. I just don't see. My only problem with Plutus is that there's a lot of rewards in their native token, and I don't see a benefit to holding their native token. So I'm not sure how I feel about it. The chart looks You know, again, like I said, I don't like this structure that much. You know, I'd really like to be trading this if it's trending above 50 cents. Obviously, like, no one likes to hear that. Oh, you're telling me to trade it when it's 100% higher, but I don't know. It just doesn't interest me that much. If you're buying here, I would be buying to zero. I mean, it's $3 million market cap. Like, either you believe in the project long term or you don't. Like, I think a trade like this is kind of, you know, it's alright, but not my favorite. I mean, the project I think is very good, and they have a lot of governance power. I just don't know how that translates to the value of the token. All right. Dopex, Dopex is close to looking really good, dude. If we can get Dopex above 350, right, we can knock out this trend and have a higher low right here, and then a higher high and have a new uptrend. Definitely keep your eye on this. I think this is probably the best thing to be in on Arbitrum. Let's see if RDPX looks better. $40, dude. Wow. RDPX must be looking good. Wow. Yeah, same for this, yo. If we can lift off above like $50, I mean, this should be a free 2x. What's in it? And then we'll take a peek at GMX. GMX is back at 50, dude. Let's go. Gotta edit my spreadsheet. Yeah, I mean, this looks good as always. GMX always is looking good, man. I mean, look at this. This is during the entire bear market. This is just this. You know what this looks like? This is actually identical to Chainlink. Right? It looks just like Chainlink did. I'm looking at BTC, but even against USD, the entire 2018 bear market just grinded into its highs. And then when we got the echo bubble in 2019, this shit ripped up like 10x. I mean, you cannot tell me like that. This is not the same vibe as the GMX chart. Let's put it on the weekly. Like, this is the same vibe, right? And we know this is when Chainlink went from like 50 cents, which I guess would be like $50 for this, to $50. I mean, we're talking like 100x. That being said, I'm pretty sure Chainlink's valuation back here at 50 cents was probably not 400 million or whatever. But we're going to look into that real quick because we have technology, baby. No, it was only about $100 million market cap, but that's still a lot for that. Like, for the size of the overall market back then, 100 million was a big coin. So to go from 100 million to 20 billion, who's to say GMX can't go from 400 million to 4 billion, you know? So anyways, I don't have any liquid exposure to GMX, but I do have, if you stake there, like if you stake your GLP and stuff, you start to build escrowed GMX, which constantly earns you rewards. So, you know, I've got an aight bag there of this that I'm basically permanently holding now and getting paid a little bit every week. So definitely the most, in my opinion, high quality asset on Arbitrum. GMX and then dopex, RDPX, stuff like that. Thinking of shorting sand before the token unlock. Oh, wow. Okay. What'd you say? In early February? Yeah, you've got some time, dude. I would be saying watch up, you know, assuming Bitcoin keeps kind of going parabolic. Being able to build a short from 125 to 150 could prove to be very profitable. Something like that, you know, and then your target would be, I don't know if I'd target all the way down here, maybe. I don't know. It depends on what you're looking for in it. If you're looking for like a hedge against your open longs, then something like this. If you're looking for just swinging the event, then I would just watch the lower time frame. Right? Just watch for a good trailing stop. Right? When these trailing stops start to get hit, you know, however high it goes, right? When you start to crumble those, that's when I'd be looking for your short, regardless of if it's the event or not. And just being frank, you know, I'm kind of split on token unlocks. I've seen token unlocks that crumble a market, and I've seen token unlocks that are super bullish, right? And it kind of became a meme. Bullish unlock, you know, bullish unlock when everyone thinks it's not, but there have definitely been times when it was. So I would just focus on the trend. You know, if it's a couple days before the unlock and you've got a structure like this, probably worth the short. Yeah, I mean, again, this is my simplest idea of it. It's never gonna, well, not never, but it's not always gonna be this simple where you get that super clean break in trend, the perfect 50% retrace, you know, where you line up your fib and then you short halfway up this move, you know. That's the textbook way to do it. You know, that's how I would teach a student. But they have to understand it's not always going to be that simple. But that's the idea. Instead of trying to short these highs over and over, you know, regardless of events, you can do that on really small size. But, you know, like if you started shorting here, where would you put your stop? Above the high, above the last high? Like, I think it's just better to wait for this trend to break down. You know, if it peaks at $1 and then it breaks down below here, like, it might be tough thinking, oh, I'm going to short 70 cents when it was just at $1. So you got to time it right, get the bounce right and all that. But that's how I would look at it for sure. Exactly, dude. It all depends on how hard the VCs and the market makers are trying to play that unlock. And unfortunately, you're not really going to know unless you're really in tune with the guys who are actually making that market. And if you're in tune with the VCs that are deciding whether or not they're going to dump on your ass. But anyways, you know, if you just keep it simple, right? Trade the technicals. That's all you can really do. All right, I'm going to keep going down this list. Did I comment on everything? Yeah, I think so. Okay. I want to keep going down this list, see what else we can find that looks interesting. What was I on? I think I was on... No, I wasn't at this low down. I don't remember where I stopped. We'll start back. Oh no, I stopped on Cocos, dude. Does anybody know what this is? I mean, is this real? Did this really do this, or was this like I almost said a token split. Look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour doesn't even register this is happening. Maybe it was like a big supply thing. Maybe it's like this could be like a rebasing coin or some crazy shit. This might not actually be the kind of returns that we're thinking. You know, in one period of time, it just goes up 80,000%. Like, nah. And look at the volume. I mean, there's like real volume in here. and then it just isn't. I don't know. The number of coins traded is probably changing drastically. I don't know. That's crazy though. I don't think it's worth any time looking at, but that is wild. What platform is this? This is TradingView. Assuming you're talking about the charting platform. This is the only charting platform I would use, honestly. All right, let's see what else we got. Cortex. Yo, this is what my boy was trading. My buddy Krillin was trading this one around. Very interesting. This was a good dip to hit right here. That's a good one. Let's take note of this one for sure. Let's set some alerts here. Thing is, I don't really keep funds on Binance, so a lot of this stuff is gonna have to be on WooTrade if I want to hop in. I guess I could send some money to Binance. All right, let's keep going. Dash, ancient coin, not interested. Dash is like privacy coin if you don't actually care about being private, which is retarded. Doge, right. Doge. Oh yeah, I didn't make note of that. Doge. Okay. Dot. Whatever happened to Polkadot, dude? I bet it's still valued at like $5 billion or something. I had so many investments on the Polkadot ecosystem and it just got wrecked. 7 billion. That is wild, dude. That is crazy. It's basically back where it launched at. Maybe this will have something in the future. I don't know. For now, it seems like a complete failure. Okay. Come on. Oh, it's the euro. Almost got baited again. Oh, there's fetch. Yep. We made a note about fetch. Funfair. That's GBP. You guys remember H-bar, Hashgraph? I remember the first time I watched a video on Hashgraph, I thought it was the coolest tech ever. They're talking about like the gossip system and all that shit, and I don't think anything actually came out of it. Why does it keep putting it on the right side of the screen? Oh, I need auto on maybe. No? What the hell? Nothing interesting. Boring. Chainlink sucks. That sucks. Ooh, Lisk. Anyone remember Lisk 2018? Litecoin. Somehow Litecoin leading the market again. Feels good. Unironically, a good sign to come. MDT, garbage. Maker is kind of shitty. Metal. Remember that. Near trash. Neo trash. I think that's trash. Ooh. Nah, wait, Ocean. Is this a Sam coin? Oh, this is just so aged, dude. Like, is this gonna be continuation or not? I don't know. We'll make a note. Ocean low 20s might be worth keeping an eye on. Oh, me say go. I heard Vitalik likes that one. Tax gold. Ooh, whoa. Is that accurate? way. Dude, I did not realize gold looked this good the past 2 months. I mean, this has completely front run Bitcoin. This looks retardedly good. This looks fantastic. Oh my gosh, dude. We're about to be back in a bull run. Unironically, I mean, this is huge. Gold looks amazing. The dollar looks terrible. Now this is the big test for Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin going to be more correlated to stocks, which are kind of they could be good right now, but they're kind of in the middle, or are they more correlated to gold, which looks amazing, and the dollar, which looks shit? That's interesting. I wish someone would do like a case study on that shit. This looks awesome, dude. I wish I'd paid more attention to this. I might have been a little bit more bullish the last month. Wow. That's awesome. Well, I'm a happy gold investor. That's cool. Oopsies. Lost my spot here. This is a chart from 2020. My stop just got hit, guys. I don't think we're gonna find any more. Ooh. What is this? Actually, never mind. I remember this coin. I'm gonna pass on that one. What the fuck is that? This is the opposite of Cocos, dude. Oh my gosh, look what it did to the moving averages. What is going on Binance, dude? There's just no way Binance makes it out of this without being under seriously heavy scrutiny. Absolutely no way. How about the Theta ecosystem? I feel like that kind of flops. Tomo Chain? Flop. TRB? Flop. Everything flopped, dude. Everything flops in crypto. Is this Twitter? No, what is this? Trust? Is this Trust Wallet, maybe? Why is Trust Wallet going up so much? Oh, VeChain. That's a classic right there. I knew some crackheads making bank on VeChain back in 2018. Waves. That is one hell of a monthly candle, I must say. I think that's about it. XMR. Oh, did I make note of that? There we go. Oh my gosh, dude, look at this. One of the craziest trades we had in the bull run too. I think it's Venus. Venus at $3 went to like 130 the next month. What the heck? YFII is still around. And it looks better than Wi-Fi. How is that possible? Damn. Well, that's the end of my list. Let's see. It's been about an hour and a half. I might just call it there. I don't really have anything else to talk about. I don't really care to waste anyone's time, so we'll wrap it up there. Just a quick recap. We got to be careful going into this monthly 8 EMA on BTC. I don't think you want to be ape longing here. You know, if you're taking a lower time frame setup, I get that. But if you're trying to swing trade something, I think your best bet is waiting for mid 18K retest back at daily EMA support and back at this lower high from December. I think that's the best bet. Will it be that clean? I'm really not sure. I'm also watching for a 4-hour EMA retest around 19.2. And then I'm in currently a trend continuation play on the 30-minute like this. So we'll see how this turns out. Probably even if this takes off, I'm probably TPing right into like 21.5, and maybe it goes further. Maybe we'll keep a third for further, but I lost about 1.5 to 2% on shorts back in the 17Ks. So if I can recoup that with a quick scalp, I'm gonna take it all day. But anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you found this to be nice and educational. For those of you in the chat, I'll have a video up either tomorrow or Tuesday. And then outside of that, I will see you guys next week for stream. So thanks for tuning in. If you guys missed parts of this, the VOD should be up in the next 20-30 minutes. But other than that, yeah, you guys take care, trade safe, try not to FOMO, keep it calm, plan out what you want to do this week, this month, because there's a good chance we could be in for some chop after this volatility. All right, I'll catch you guys next time.